Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Oxygen Not Included. In the last episode, we were going to build our um, core harvesting. Where did this polluted water come from? We were going to build our core harvesting, but we got distracted and we went to Isilios over here because I want visco-gel. It'll make better liquid locks, and we won't have to worry about our vacuum rooms as much, especially for the new steam room that we're about to build with that whole area back there. So we need to tame this tree, essentially. We need to start feeding it different foods. So what we're going to do, my plan, currently I didn't realize it when I landed here, but this planet has no light whatsoever, basically. It is super dim, and so our solar panels have been dead this whole time. And as you can see, the power on this planet isn't great. It's not enough to even run our spacecraft. So I was thinking, well, first of all, I'm going to return back home, restock the rocket, and I think I'm going to bring back some basic building materials and things like that. So what we need to do is we need to dig a little channel out down here. We need to put down a liquid pump and start sucking up the sap, and at least either bottling it so we could put it inside the spacecraft or putting it onto a liquid tank. We could maybe try to fit one of those on here. And the other thing is, I think what we're going to use on this map for power is we're just going to use this ethanol. We're going to burn that in a petroleum generator. Hopefully, we won't be using too much power consistently. This can produce 2 kilowatts, and so I expect that one petroleum generator should be able to run this entire map pretty well. And with this much ethanol in this little pocket here, probably for a long time. And I might even put a light over these bonbon trees here so that the spigot seals can eat and produce more ethanol for us, but we'll see. It might be nice to even make a spigot seal and bonbon tree ranch to produce ethanol, but I'm not sure if I'm going to get around to doing all of that on this map. It's a new biome? No, okay. So, yeah, and like I said in the last episode, we're going to feed this barbecue since it's pretty good caloric density. So, yeah, let's bring the rocket back home, and we will start I guess preparing to feed the tree. We need to be careful as well with our dupes in here. We don't want them walking in here because the tree will lash out and attack them. So let's be very careful about that and bring our rocket home. Thankfully, when this engine's running, then it produces so much power. Then we're fine. And slight side tangent while we wait for the rocket to get back. This copper volcano, I realized while I was doing last episode, I never mentioned it. I'm going to put this inside the steam room. It will easily be able to. I mean, I'll bring up the pressure of the steam in the steam room, so we'll maybe instead of like over here, we start off dumping the steam once it gets over 10 kgs. Which, by the way, there's 900 kgs in here, so we have a lot of steam pressure in this room. I never realized that. But say over in this room, we will probably make it so like over 100 we'll start dumping, just so we have a large steam buffer for the copper volcano. And this, you might be thinking, oh, it's coming out at 2,000 degrees, but if you look at copper, it doesn't have a very high specific heat capacity. At least compared to water, it does not. So I'm not worried about it at all. So we're just going to let it cool in the steam room. It'll come down to the 200 degrees, and then we'll just use a auto sweeper and take it out of the room. And we might, honestly, since we're going to have a bunch of steam turbines that are being cooled by supercoolant lines, and that supercoolant will probably be running at, like, I don't know, whatever we want, like -15 or something. I'll probably just run the hot 200-degree metal through that room. It should cool down real quick on that supercoolant, down to at least room temperature or colder, and then we can use it anywhere else. So we'll have the copper done. Really, I should be doing the same for all of my volcanoes. I keep forgetting about them and not getting around to them, but it's all right. Also, seriously, where in the world is this polluted water coming from? I am so confused. It's not the polluted brine, is it? No. It's probably coming from up here, like something's melting or leaking down. Maybe right here. I don't know. Anyways, I guess I'll just have to mop it back up again and sweep it back out. Goodness. Okay, so we loaded up the rocket with a few little different bits and bobs, and we're gonna go to back to the planet, try to set up a little bit of stuff. Thankfully, we can probably make quite a bit there, so that we just can, since it's got a full planet, you know, it's got all the different essentials on it. Like there's ore, all this different iron ore and stuff like that. So we should be able to have a pretty easy time, relatively speaking, setting up a little something. And I'm just gonna, for right now, I'm not gonna set up an interplanetary launching system and all that to bring food over. I'm just going to bring over 100 kgs of barbecue and deliver it to the tree, and that should be good. So let's get people on board. This is the one. Let's get people on board and yeah, send them back over. Okay, so here we are on this planet. I finally moved the Spacefarer module down, and we're just gonna set up a little thing just to repair Atmos suits here. And for right now, there's a manual generator just in case one of their Atmos suits runs out right now. But you can see as we are currently putting in the liquid pump, and very quickly here we're going to put in the petroleum generator. I need to go mine a little bit more iron ore somewhere. Rivaldo, just go mine this. Plenty. So, and then very soon we'll get into working on this. Oh shoot. Part of the problem of this map is that, you know, all this mercury, it's gonna melt. It pretty once we do any amount of like industry in here, it's gonna start melting pretty quick. That is, I mean, it is very cold, so maybe it won't. It'll take a long time, but we'll see. Okay, yeah. So repair Atmos suit. Oh, I forgot you need to use reed fiber to repair them. Oops. Well, shit. All right. Well, we won't worry about it. We'll just try to set up our little bit here, very quickly. Let's see. So petroleum generator, they do produce polluted water, which is extremely annoying for us. And I don't know where to put it. Let's see. I want it close to the ethanol so we don't have to run liquid pipes too far. So I guess I'll put it like, I don't know. I could put it right here, and then we already have a little bit of space underneath it. We're just going to put some mesh tiles and build like a tiny little capture pit for the polluted water. I seriously doubt this will be running very often, so we're not going to care much. I don't have the resources because I need to figure out a better way to get resources to the planet. The way we're doing it now, it causes infinite routing issues, and our dupes just love to go and grab all of the stuff I tell them to put in the rocket and take it out of the rocket and put it somewhere else. And so I need to come up with some way to make sure that they don't just go and grab all this stuff. It means that we don't have all the resources that I wanted because I didn't realize they had grabbed it all by the time that they were done. So this is what we have to deal with. What did this change? It didn't change anyway, did it? No, okay. Yeah, so I guess next time I'll bring some reed fiber, or I will attempt to bring some reed fiber and watch them grab it and take it away, of course. So it's I need like a storage I don't know, something. I don't know what I need, but I need something. You can see the power's already run out. That is what we're gonna use this for. If I had more iron ore. Anyways, I'm going to set up a few things, a little bit of infrastructure here, and hopefully we can get this stabilized enough for them to be able to run some stuff. Okay, I did it in maybe the most messy way possible, mostly because I just let them out of the ship without their Atmos suits on. It's breathable in here, and they have wetsuits and rubber boots on, so they're not as bad of dying because of the cold. So, but what I did is I basically just took the barbecue from inside, put it in this ration box, and then I unselected the barbecue, and it dropped right here. So the tree now has 100 kgs of barbecue there. I don't think it's gonna be able to eat that many K-cows this quickly, but it can feast away. I have so much barbecue at the home planet, I do not care. Now, what I need to do is somehow safely get our dupes in here to put in a liquid pump. Which I think we're just gonna go down and around like this, maybe. And we're gonna make sure that they do not go up at all. They can swim, so it's not gonna be... If they want any of this, then it's gonna suck a little bit, but... I don't think the tree can attack downward, maybe. Hopefully. I don't know. We'll find out real quick here. See, that's exactly what I didn't want happening. Right there, right like that. I told you not to go up there, and you did immediately. You did it immediately. Get out of here. Okay. We're gonna build those mesh tiles across here, and that should lock all this stuff down here. Wasn't there a little bit more sap on this side? There's some. Okay, liquid pump, we're just gonna put down here. I don't know. I need to make this a nicer room, but it doesn't really matter too much, I guess. We're just gonna put down the liquid pump. We're going to put down a liquid filter as well. And we'll just filter out the sap, send it to somewhere, and everything else is gonna get dumped out somewhere else on this map. Hopefully it'll freeze. The water and stuff will freeze on this map. Maybe. We'll see. We're getting there. Well, it may be really, really bad, but it's working. We are pumping out down here, and our waste liquids are just going over here for right now. I don't really care about them. And the sap is getting sent into this liquid reservoir for right now. I need to figure out how I want to bring it home. I didn't put a liquid tank on here, like external, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a bottle filler. We'll put one of these right here, and we'll just manually carry bottles up into the... well, we'll set up a request, most likely, in our conveyor loader here for bottles of sap. If I can do that. I don't know if that actually allows you to put bottles, but... well, we'll find out. Anyways, let's I guess I'm gonna wait here for a little bit for either this meat to spoil, which is gonna happen really soon. It's a bit of a shame. I should have not put all 100 kgs out here immediately, but it's okay. We're still getting quite a bit of sap out of this. I'll come back when I've got a decent tank and we're all loaded up on the rocket. Okay, I have a decent bit of sap. I've done my best. I need proper resources to do anything more on that planet, so we're just gonna come home. We have what? The fact that we have solid sap is annoying, because it's gonna melt here soon, and then I'm gonna have to attempt to mop it back up. We'll see. But because it froze, because the planet is frozen, obviously. Other than that, we have, like, what? Almost 400 kilos of regular sap? Okay. So we'll probably be able to make a decent bit of visco-gel, but we're going to leave this planet. We're done for today. Let's see. Destination. Going home. And any complaints? Scott, yeah, that's fine. Go. Get out of here. We're done. We'll come back at some later date when we want to deal with this frozen abomination of a tree. Anyways, I'm going to disconnect so we don't waste a bunch of fuel while we're off planet. I'm going to disconnect the ethanol line to the petroleum generator because the battery will lose a little bit of energy. Anyways, we have Bert up here getting us more data banks, and we've been sending out our mining rocket here every once in a while. Like you can see, we have a little bit of iridium. So we just keep sending this one out, bringing data banks back from orbit. We just keep producing them. Yeah, so now what I need to do is set up down here. I'm going to set up I guess I'll just put a bottle emptier, and we can bottle empty sap and dump it all in here, and it'll turn into isosap since it should be hot enough. I think it's, what, 120 or something to turn sap into isosap? 125. Yeah, it's 140 in here. It should be good. So, yeah. What billion? Oh, okay. We're gonna wait for that, and I'll update when they get back. Okay, they're back, and we are relocating the sap into here. I just opened the door, so of course, normally I lock this place so they don't come and do this stupid thing where they pick up the salt, even though we have an automated delivery. I don't know how to stop them from doing that, but anyways, they should be delivering the sap here shortly. Hopefully. I set up there where there's Travaldo. He's a little hurt. He maybe went into the room with the evil tree that tried to kill him, but um, is anybody bring? I think Bubbles. There we go. So you're bringing some sap, deliver it, and then let's see what happens. So solid sap in here should heat up pretty quickly, I would imagine. Oh, this is slow. It has bad thermal conductivity. Okay. I guess we have to wait for this one to overheat. And then the other sap, the liquid sap. It's getting here. It's getting here. We'll probably kick that bottle over. Oh, this is isosap. Here we go. We have some isosap produced. So, is all this isosap now? Yeah, it is. Great. I'm waiting for the other bottle to get here. Man, they really do just come in here and do the most stupid things, don't they? Why are they grabbing the salt? It's okay. Okay, so there's our bottle. Let's empty this. Actually, I wish I could prioritize sometimes, but I understand why you can't. Someone will be along shortly to... Yep. Nope, that's not the right person. There you are. Kick it open. Nice. And there we go. We have a ton more isosap now. So, up in the molecular forge... Is that where you produce it? No, I believe you make it in the emulsifier. Yeah. So, now we can make visco-gel. Wow, we are maxed out on super cool. Incredible. So we can make some visco gel now. And I definitely will. I'm going to turn off supercoolant and we're going to redirect the pipe out of here. We cannot make a lot. We can make what? 2 batches of visco gel. We really do need to automate delivering food to the tree and then sucking up the sap and sending it back home. But that's something for another day when we're not trying to build a core harvesting thing because we're worried about this turning off because of no more heat. So let's disconnect the supercoolant and we're going to put the isosap into, or not the visco gel into this liquid tank. I suppose, maybe. I wish I could just actually. Is there a? It sucks that the bottle filler is so wide compared to the bottle drainer. I wish I could just put it into a bottle right away. But it's all right. I'll figure something out. Okay, now that we have visco gel and all of that, I think it's time we can start actually building this down here. Now, funny enough, we didn't get enough isosap to make we're just under enough visco gel to be able to make both sides of the liquid lock visco gel. So the outer edge, which is not going to be exposed to the extreme heat, is going to be mucin. We're going to do a mucin liquid lock, and then the other side will be a visco gel liquid lock. We have 200 kilos, but you need 100 kilos on the bottom, and then a little bit more on the top to make the actual visco gel liquid lock. So whatever. Now I need to figure out how I want to actually build this. So obviously we want to put the copper volcano inside of the steam room. So really we could make like this whole area steam room. And the main thing that I'm not sure about, it is very hot, obviously, which is good. We want that. That'll help improve the efficiency. We need to figure out how many steam turbines we want. And I think more so we should be building the number of steam turbines based on not how fast we can transfer heat, but rather how much water do we want to be able to process at one given time. So, like for instance, up here, right, these 4 steam turbines steam turbines, they produce less power and less heat, depending on what the temperature is. That's all that changes. they will still suck up the same amount of heat and produce the same amount of water at the same exact temperature. So you can see right here, there are, in that liquid pipe, it says 7.6 kgs of water. I don't know how it got to 7.6 exactly. That doesn't make any sense. But essentially, each steam turbine outputs 2 kgs of water per second. So to fill a full pipe, a full liquid pipe, you need 5 steam turbines, right? So if we wanted to be able to process one full input pipe constantly, then we would need 5 steam turbines. If we want to be able to process 2 full input pipes constantly, we would need 10 steam turbines. I think personally, I do want to try to build this to be able to handle 2 full pipes of input liquid at a time. We have a lot of liquids on this map, and I think that would be most useful. And it's not to say that we can't handle more heat-wise. It's just that we won't be able to remove the pressure faster than we're putting in. Like you can see in this room, we have 874 kilos of steam. That isn't because that isn't because we don't have enough heat to boil water or anything. That's just because we don't have enough steam turbines to handle the amount of liquids that we put into this room. So I think maybe I kind of want to try to build 10 steam turbines over here. Now, I need to figure out how to actually build that, since steam turbines are pretty big, but we don't need a lot of steam room, essentially. We don't need a lot of internal space. We just need to be able to fit the 10 in that I want. So, I mean, like, oh, we could do like, I don't know, something like 1, 2, 3 or something, and then another, and then over on this side we'll do some, and we'll have like a central core, and then have our steam go out through the sides. I think that would probably be the best. We'll have like a spike up straight into the steam room, and that'll be our core, and then we'll branch the steam turbines off of the sides. That seems like it probably will be the best idea. Now, we do need to fit in this copper volcano, so really, if we put that in the center spine as well, that would be a good idea. The issue is, of course, we're building this so far on the edge of the map that when we do want to start, taking the heat from down over on this side, we're going to need an active loop. So eventually, I think what we're going to have to do, and I'll get into all of this more when we start building. I'm kind of just ranting right now, but we're going to have to use like a niobium or a thermium conveyor rail that runs through this area, and that'll draw a lot of the heat out of here. But anyways, I think what we're going to do is we're going to come up with some design here, try to fit in the copper volcano. Sucks that it's so close to this oil well, but we'll figure something out here. Okay, so this is the sort of plan for right now. This is the central chamber right here, and this is where we're going to build the actual spike down. And then we'll have a larger lower steam room than the upper like channels for steam up here. And then the liquids will be dropped through the center channel onto, this is where the hot plate will be, which I just realized I built this centered on 1, not 2, so the door will be uneven. Oh, that's really going to bug me. That's really going to bug me. I could put 2 doors, double the heat transfer in, I suppose, and make a really big heat spike. Sure, we'll do something like that. Just because it's gonna bug me to not have it symmetrical. So this is 10 steam turbines. I'm gonna add 1 more right here. I think. I'm gonna move all of these large power transformers into the steam room since they generate passive heat always. And you can see right here, I'm building the liquid lock. Obviously, mucin is less viscous than visco-gel, so it's a little bit more annoying to set up the liquid lock, so I had to put this tile here. And then we're gonna run a heavy watt wire directly into the actual room, and we're gonna run it through this vacuum chamber right here. Sort of, I could have done the same thing, like if I had brought the cable over here down and through. Not that it's necessary, but it does make things a little bit easier. And I also don't need this heavy watt conductive plate, but I think it'll be nice. Okay, please don't float. Oh, it did the thing I didn't want it to do. See, this is the problem with having mucin be significantly less viscous than visco-gel. Now, if I try to mop this up, I'm going to get both the visco-gel and the mucin, since, of course, mopping does out one to the side, which is infuriating, but what can you do about it? I'm going to try to fix this again, but anyways, this is the general design. Just a small update. I am amazed I actually managed to get this liquid lock done and working. You can see that the mucin is holding incredibly. It took a little bit. I had to put a tile here, and then I had to wait for the mucin to go all the way out to this tile. But it's done, and now I just need to make sure that nobody goes and messes it up again. So we're going to put in a mesh tile there. Yep, perfect. And then in this little bit right here, we're going to put a mini... Oh, wow, I forgot about all this. We're going to put a mini gas pump. Can that not fit there? Why not? It could be built upside down literally anywhere else. And it could be built upside down here, but not like this because of the gas pipe. Maybe. I don't know. Also, speaking of the gas pipes, you can see we're getting pretty low on natural gas. This one's still doing okay. These ones are still have a decent bit, but we need more power. Good thing this is going to add a lot of power. Okay, so I need to, I guess, redivert this a little bit. We don't need to vacuum this out yet. It's just, it's going to have to use a mini gas pump, so it's going to take forever to get rid of 7 kilos of carbon dioxide. So I guess let me redivert this a little bit. Oh my goodness. We'll do something like that. Okay, I'll continue. I'm going to try to move these large power transformers down into here now, and so we can put the last steam turbine on. And then we'll finish out the bottom bit and probably start vacuuming out pretty soon. So we are slowly vacuuming out this area. Well, we're vacuuming out this little small area, and we're going to put in some gas pumps up here. Our liquid lock, our liquid lock is fully sealed off now. I'm just going to leave that gas pump there, just in case some dupe manages to walk in here with like a something that off gases, and they drop it right in that spot, and it sucks, and everything goes wrong. Also, our large power transformers are in here, and then this right here is going to be the access chamber down underneath into this area. Obviously, this needs to be fully vacuumed out forever. And yeah, so this is almost done being vacuumed out, actually, and then we will start breaking down into here. We're going to do the similar method as up here, where we had formerly the door that can withstand up to absurd temperatures, and we're going to have that there. Where am I? And then we're going to just open and close it whenever we need to inject more heat in, and then the bottom down here will be diamond window tiles to increase the thermal conductivity. Which actually, now that I think about it, I just got some iridium. What is its thermal conductivity? Wow. Wow. Not as good as aluminum, but extremely good nonetheless. Yeah. What is diamond window tiles? It's 80. Yeah. I was looking at aluminum too. The inside temperature could be aluminum metal tiles, actually. I don't know why I didn't use those up here. The other side, the one on the magma side, those were diamond window tiles because they had the best thermal conductivity for what we had at the time. Because diamond won't melt in this area at all. It has a melting point of 4,000 degrees. We're not going to hit that, obviously. But now that I think about it, if we look at iridium, iridium won't melt either in this area. So we could theoretically use iridium metal tiles, but we have to use it sparingly. We do not have a lot of iridium, and the only place we can get it on this map right now, at least, is the conductive ore field, which is this one all the way up here. We've mined this once, And there's still 8.4 tons we need to go back and just pick up. Which means, is this done harvesting? Yeah, this is done. So we're gonna send this home. But anyways, there might be some on Antiquista. Whatever. There might be some here. I don't think so though, because there was no meteor that got blown up or anything like that. So we're not going to be able to use much iridium. Pretty soon though, we'll just be able to use niobium and thermium, which is better than both. So, but we don't have that yet either, and I haven't gone back to that planet to get any, so it's okay. For right now, we don't need it. We're not going to be able to build down into the magma. We need to freeze the magma first into igneous rock, which we'll get to pretty quick. I'm sure we'll suck out a lot of heat here. But, yeah. Also, we do have to be a little bit conscientious of the fact that this abyssalite here is also very hot. And speaking of, I need to make sure that we have a door here so I can lock duplicates in and out of going through this into the underneath area, because this is all going to be very hot rock that we're going to grab, and we don't want him bringing it anywhere, using it for anything. So Stinky here thought that the best way to build this temp shift plate would be to jump into the lava and swim in it. It is a miracle you are alive, Stinky. A miracle. And you still decided to finish building this temp shift plate before swimming out of the liquid molten lava. Oh, these dupes sometimes. Okay. Also, I keep forgetting that this isn't how temp shift plates work, but it's okay. So there is some really good thermal transfer here. When we start freezing this magma, we can continue building this spike downward. But for right now, it's definitely transferring plenty fine. You can see just how quickly it's all going up. Inside of here, I am surprised that these are still pumping. I meant to turn them off temporarily. I turned off them at least a little bit because we still have some stuff in here that consumes or produces heat. We have these power transformers, and I'd prefer for them to not break before I get the steam in here. So we're just gonna have a very light atmosphere of carbon dioxide in here, as in like a couple micrograms. So it's not gonna do much for very long, let's put it that way, but it might give us enough time. So we finished this. We've basically vacuumed out the entire interior. Now all I need to do, all I need to do now is put in all of the liquid handling. So that's going to be quite a bit, and let's get to it. Basically, every single one of these, not those, every single one of these steam turbines is going to be outputting a bunch of water, and we want to have a system where we prioritize putting it back in here if we need more steam pressure in this room. So yeah, it's going to be a bit of it's going to be a bit to deal with and figure out how to do it all, because over here we have these liquid shutoffs, and that's what we use to determine which way the water is going. And I probably will use these again. I just want to put them inside of the room more than likely, because they do cause I think they leak heat maybe. That I'm not sure about actually. I might be making stuff up, but put them inside of the room, and yeah, there's gonna be a lot. Also, our new input water needs to come in somewhere, probably like right in this middle block right here. These gas pumps, by the way, the reason we have this hood here, it might look a little bit funky. The reason we have that is so that we can deal with polluted oxygen, since there's always the chance that basically we're producing slime in here, and then slime produces polluted oxygen when there's like a couple grams of water on the ground. That's why we keep producing polluted oxygen constantly, and we have to suck it out and then filter it and all that. We're going to have to do the same filtering, but we're going to hope that all of the polluted oxygen ends up right up here at the top. And we're only going to turn on these gas pumps when we detect, like, significant amounts of polluted oxygen. Plus, as you can see, all of the steam vents are off to the side. Hopefully, there will be minimal amounts of polluted oxygen that go off this direction, since all of the water will be dropped directly onto this hot plate here, and hopefully immediately flashed. So, yeah, these gas pumps also won't be here. And then the volcano, basically, we're just hoping that we'll have enough steam pressure in here that we'll be able to sink the amount of heat that the copper volcano can produce, which I'm pretty sure we'll be able to with 12 steam turbines. Normally, you only need like one or maybe two for a volcano, a metal volcano, excluding niobium and aluminum. Those two produce a lot more heat because of their specific heat capacities and stuff like that. But yeah, so put in the water, and then also I'm going to put in some temp shift plates, probably diamond, through here just to transfer the heat through a little bit faster and through the steam. And I'll have to look at my previous design and see what else. Oh yeah, obviously thermal aqua tuner and a supercoolant cool loop to keep. Since we're gonna have 12 steam turbines all producing a lot of heat, we need to build a coolant loop for that. Basically, I'm just gonna look back at this and see what I had in here that we need to put in before starting. After, we can do a few things, like we can put in an auto sweeper to grab all the salt and all that afterwards. But I just want to get this on and running sooner. So let me get to work on building all of that. We had an unfortunate accident while we were building here. So I replaced an insulated conductive wire right back here with steel, and the lead and plastic dropped this side and not this side. So both of that dropped right onto this super hot obsidian, which then, of course, melted. The plastic both the lead melted into molten lead, and then the plastic immediately flashed all the way to sour gas. And so we have a bit of a sour gas leak in here, which thankfully these gas pumps were already in here, and it's such a small amount of sour gas that they're dealing with it, and it'll cool off out here. But it's a little bit of a shame. And then also we had a basalt ladder in here, and I didn't realize basalt melts at a really low temperature. Most of the time, I'm not too worried about rock of any type, but I guess I should be building out of obsidian in here, since the basalt will melt, and then I'm guessing, yeah, it just turns to magma, and then that'll turn back to igneous rock. But it's a bit strange, so we'll just not let any dupes in here for a little while, and we'll wait. Hopefully, this sour gas gets sucked out before the gas pumps overheat, which it looks like it, since it's such a low concentration. Yeah, you can see that igneous rock just turned to magma down here. Thankfully, I finished this already, so I don't have to get back in here, and this will solidify at some point when we get it cold enough. But just a little mishap, not too terribly bad, and a little bit of heat loss, I suppose, from the sour gas coming out. But anyways, continuing to work, I'm moving these liquid pipes here for both the input water and the output oil from our oil well here. Just so we can have more breathing room with the input and output liquid pipes here in our actual design. So, getting there. Also, these are about to overheat, which is a shame. I shouldn't have moved them in until I had the steam in here, but it's okay. I could always maybe switch them to, like... No, I don't have anything higher temperature. It's a shame. But things are coming along. So we're in the midst of building this entire thing. Getting there. I've got the aqua tuner in place and the cooling loop, and all that is in the process of getting built. And then, so this right here is kind of our central automation for whether or not we dump the output water from our steam turbines back in or not for cooling. Basically, we just have an Atmos sensor. If it's above, I wish you could have Atmos sensors go up to like 100,000 kgs, but they only go up to 20 kgs. So, or 100 kgs and not 100,000 Gs. So basically, we just set it to the max. If we are under 20 kg of steam pressure in this place, then we'll dump the water back in. If we're above it, then we will output the water to this tank over here. It's very similar to the other tank we have up above, but it looks a little bit better. And then our two input streams here are this and this, and you can see that it will prioritize using the new water before it uses the steam turbine water. Now, I do have to have an overflow kind of setup here so that if it's prioritizing these two inputs, then the water should flow out of the system entirely. So I need to build that in still. But otherwise, it's doing pretty good. And we are getting quite close to done here. I did refill the atmosphere so these wouldn't overheat. Oh, it looks like they just finished every single liquid pipe almost. Pretty close to it. And then down here is the aqua tuner. We're just going to plug in some supercoolant until we fill the loop. I'll probably use just a bottle drainer and we'll carry the supercoolant down from above. Yeah, pretty close. I don't know what temperature I'm going to do, but probably like, I don't know. It could be super crazy. It can be like above, I don't know, if it's above minus 20. Does it need to be that cold? No, but I could do it. I'll probably just do if it's above like 10 degrees or something, then we'll turn it on. So yeah, we are getting very close here to being done. And I do need to hook up a bunch of power and things. So let's do that. That's silly. But okay. Almost done. I'll update when we actually are ready to turn it on. Well, probably when I'm vacuuming out the thing. All right. Finally, it has been fully vacuumed out. That took a really long time. But we're ready, I think, hopefully, to turn this thing on. So the way I'm going to start here, so I've got the two input streams. One of them is just coming from over here, all this polluted brine that we sucked up. I'm just going to do it for while we start up and try to get steam pressure. I'm going to start by turning on our Atmo tuner, or our thermo aqua tuner. So we're going to say if the temperature is above, I don't know, let's just go 10 degrees. Then it'll turn on, it'll start. And so it's about to turn on here. There we go. That'll start getting really hot really, really fast. So we need to, we're just going to start dumping water in. Here we go. Now, it should get up to over 100 degrees here pretty quickly. Oh, I forgot about the polluted oxygen. Okay, so this is why we have the vents at the top here. It's not going to hurt too much. Once the water boils, it should become a pretty small amount of the gas in here. But I guess then what we can do is we can say if this is below, let's go 200 degrees for just the start. Also, we want it to be green signal for green signal opens the doors, red signal closes. So we want that to be like a red signal. So at 200 degrees or below, it'll turn on. And we're going to turn off this switch, and that will let the temperature automation control instantly starts boiling. Just like that. Once it gets up to 200 degrees in here, then it will very quickly, it'll open the doors again, which it's about to be, I believe. There we are. Great. So we've got steam in here. It's turning on. And then up here, we need to put in a simple gas filter. I forgot. This was the last bit that I forgot to do. We just need to put in a little gas filter somewhere, preferably inside the actual steam room since it's going to be hot. And we're just going to filter for polluted oxygen, and that will be sent out. And then the steam will have to put in a little, like, water or probably oil patch, and we'll just loop the steam through there. And we'll put in an automation sensor to say, like, turn on if it's over, or if it detects polluted oxygen. But we don't quite need that just yet, since the polluted oxygen is going to be pushed out pretty quickly here by the water. All right. Now, basically, oh, don't do it. Don't do it. Oh, it's going to mess up the liquid lock. Oh, you just knew it was going to happen, didn't you? Oh, it's okay. I really should have put, like, some tile right here. Once it boils, it should maybe... I could probably get in here and sweep the rest of this out. But, yeah, so basically now what we need to do is we just need to tune the thermosensor so that these are running at least the furthest ones away from the heat source are running at about max capacity. It's going to take a little bit to turn on. What broke here? The gas pipe did? Oh, it sucked up some steam and it cooled off in there. That's okay. I need to turn off these gas pumps. Let me just do that real quick. There we go. Anyways. So, yeah, like I said, you can see already these bottom ones are pretty much fully on. And then the furthest away ones are kind of cooler. We're just going to tune this up, say, like, 210. And then it'll turn on a little bit longer. Instantly, you could see the ambient temperature on this jumped up to, like, 240 the second the door closed. Just like that, 240. Yeah. So what we're using for all of this is we're using iridium metal tiles in the hot section and iridium temp shift plates and the bits of diamond. We ran out of iridium. The doors are also iridium since it has higher... it's better than steel for thermal conductivity. And then these are aluminum tiles on the other end. They shouldn't get hot enough to melt, but you can't use aluminum on this side because it will melt. So yeah, basically... Oh, and then this, I'm pretty sure we could probably open this up at this point. How much steam pressure do we have in here? Almost 14 kilos. Yeah. So once this gets over 20 kgs of steam pressure in this room, then it will, it'll start dumping the water into here. Oh, well, it looks like it already is. Oh, yeah, that's right. I have the overflow protection. So if we have water coming in, it doesn't use the steam turbine water. It uses the new water instead. That way we'll handle our new water faster than we do in our old one. Without going over capacity through the actual whole system here. Even this one, it's barely on, but it's on. There's not a lot of steam up here. Oh, and there's some polluted oxygen. I'm hoping once everything boils that the polluted oxygen will end up here. Eventually, it'll like this bit right here. Well, it got deleted. Hopefully it'll just go across and up into here, and then that's, like I said, we'll put in our gas filter. I'm gonna let this run for a little bit, and also let's get an analysis on the copper volcano. Hopefully this doesn't overload the system and melt things. These are steel airflow tiles, so it should stop the copper from going over into the edge down here. Because it could instantaneously, like, melt the aluminum tiles if it did go down there. We don't want that. But I think the bulk of the steam in here should be able to absorb the heat off of the copper pretty well. Hopefully. That's the goal. If it's not, then we're going to have some problems. Yeah. It's working. We're already drawing a decent bit of heat out of here. It's not gone down a lot, which is good. The more heat we get out of this, the better. So let me put in that last gas filter here, and we'll check back and see how it's doing. Here you can see the temperature is steadily going down on our steam turbines from our supercoolant. It's coming in at about 30 degrees. It's going out at 16 after our aqua tuner. It should get down to 10 degrees here pretty quick. I don't think even this many steam turbines can outdo the cooling potential of supercoolant. So, at least hopefully. All of this was at about like 40-something degrees beforehand, and the biome around it is obviously quite hot. So, it's doing a lot. Let's just put it that way. There's a lot of heat for all this supercoolant to absorb right here at the beginning. So, it might take a tiny bit of time, but you can still see it's getting there pretty fast. All of this was just orange when I checked a few moments ago. Supercoolant is absolutely wonderful to have. Okay, this is going to be steam. I put a space at the beginning. Okay, this is going to be steam. Basically, anything that isn't steam, we want gone. Also, this needs to be a high-pressure gas vent. Come on. Oh, the autosaves have been getting longer and longer. It's okay. Should be able to turn these back on now. Yeah. Now, I do want that automation here. So gas element sensor, we need a bit of steel. Obviously, everything in here is built out of steel. Otherwise, it'll overheat or melt. Not melt, maybe, but anything that is a machine, we need it to be steel. Ooh. Oh, okay, that's fine. And once this is done, we'll select, obviously... Well, really, I should do not steam, but it's okay. I'll just, for right now, I'll choose polluted oxygen, since I think that's the only gas that actually should be in here, ever. Yeah, things are doing pretty good. It's still plenty hot enough to produce dirt, not make it just a bunch of, what is it? Slime on the ground. So, doing good. This bit of polluted oxygen over here, hopefully it'll get taken out by the steam at some point. Only micrograms of polluted oxygen. It's just, there's not a lot of steam pressure getting to the end here. Probably because my overflow system, which, hey, it's working. It's just, it might be a bit, we don't need it necessarily, you know? Once this water runs out, then it will be necessary. And I do want to check, see what happens when this copper volcano goes off. There's about 6 kgs of steam pressure in the back. I don't think that's going to be enough. It might take a really long time to cool down the amount of copper that comes out of here. But hey, we'll see. If it breaks, it breaks, and I'm not too fussed about it. Okay, here we go. I did drop a backup save just in case this breaks everything, which it might. I fully believe it might because of the low steam pressure. Okay, it's just immediately solidifying, which is good. That's what the steam is supposed to do. But how hot is the steam going to get? It's 260 degrees, 270. It got to about 270 degrees. Is that what it looked like? And then immediately got eaten by all of the steam turbines. Perfect. Exactly what we wanted it to do. We have essentially infinite copper in here. Good. Good. We'll just let it do its thing. It adds a little bit more heat into the room, and a little bit more heat is never bad. It means we don't have to draw as much from the core as we formerly would have. The nice thing about the fact that all of this is liquid is it does transfer the heat a bit better, I believe, than rock. Oh, no, it actually has lower thermal conductivity. Anyways. I'm really happy with where this is, how it's working so far. The only issue is this little bit of polluted oxygen way at the end here. There was going to be another steam turbine, but I decided it was easier for the liquid routing if I put in less. If I only did 10 instead of 12 steam turbines, because then we would be maxing out 2 pipes, which they're not maxed out. So maybe I got the amount of water that they produce incorrect, but I don't really frankly care. This is working. We're producing power too, which is really good for our grid. It means hopefully we could take a little bit of a burden off of these, which you could tell it definitely did. Went from 40% in the last 5 cycles down to 7% last cycle. And already this cycle it's only run 16%. That's very good. This is free power for probably, I mean, this one over here, this lasted for at least this long, 1,500 cycles nearly. The core's hotter and there's more mass here, so it should be able to last us probably... I'm hoping to get at least 2,000 cycles worth of temperature out of this. So, yeah, things are going along great. For the future, do I have to really do this? Okay, I don't want people coming in here and grabbing salt, so I'm going to lock this door. Hopefully they won't be able to get past it. I can't put the door upright. Nope, they don't care. I'm going to lock the door once they get out of here. Don't lock it yourself on the inside, though. Okay, well, they're going to maybe lock themselves in, but if they do, it'll be really funny. Next steps, things I want to do. I want to put in an auto sweeper here to grab all the dirt, salt, whatever else gets produced, slime, stuff like that, and take it out of here. And I want to have an auto sweeper to grab the copper. And then what I want to do, there's 2 things. First, the water that comes in here, it depends on what temperature. This line, since it's coming from this fluid tank up here, is like 40 degrees, 50 almost. This one's 95 because it's coming straight from the vent. I do want to loop these through our output tank like I did in the previous one. It'll give us a bit of a regenerator kind of effect. It'll bring up the temperature of the input water so it takes less to heat it up, which I think will be important. And Sorry, it just started raining really hard outside. That was unexpected to me. I didn't think it was going to rain today. Completely off topic, I know. Hopefully you can't hear that through the microphone. But next, I totally throw off my entire train of thought. The next thing I want to do, like I said, is run the thing through here, and then maybe we can run the salt and copper and all of that through one of these turbine rooms, and it'll cool off the output quite a bit, quite significantly. So we're doing really good, and I think that's where I'm going to end this episode. Those are things for next episode, and I want to thank everybody who got this far into the video for watching, and I will see you all in the next one.